Whew, it's been a few days, but welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. Make sure this lens is clean. Does it look better now? As you can see, I've got a bit more room, as I showed you in the other clip, and yeah, it just makes working on vehicles so much easier. I know exactly where all the tools are. This one here, WTF Auto, basically like gave it to me really cheap, but it leaked oil, so I spent a day stripping it and replacing the O-rings in the pistons or the rams and in the pump, and it's all good now. I just need the brackets that are on top, and you can get them separately from anyway Amazon, eBay, whatever, $60, and they have little hooks on them that stop the gearbox from rolling off, and also a chain or something. But I reckon like a ratchet strap would probably be better than chain. Put a couple of rabbits, you know, put a gearbox and a couple of ratchet straps. That would probably be better than a bit of floppy chain. But yeah, I'm really pleased to have this now, so I don't have to destroy my back trying to lift this gearbox into the Jeep when the time comes. What I'm doing now is I took the flywheel off and test fit everything. Like, first I've got to see if the backing plate fits, and then once that's on, basically I'll put the flywheel on, I'll put the clutch on, and then I'll start measuring. We need to make sure. I've got to get it. I don't know if there's the bearing sits in this big orifice or in a smaller one. A spigot bearing or spigot bush normally sits in the smaller one, but there's not a lot of room for a bearing in there, so I'm not sure. I will have to find out. I'll also have to measure that, but I need to make sure, find out where the nose of the input shaft, this bit here, I need to know whereabouts that is. It's basically flush with this, right? So if I've got that plate, which has a reasonable bit of thickness to it, that's on here. So it basically sits in this big orifice, which sticks out a bit further past. It does, doesn't it? It sticks out a bit further past. There we go. Wrong way. Okay, that's better. I think I need to lower you guys. Right, let me get some measuring. I know exactly where my stuff is now. Let me see. Right, gift from my son, rolly chair. That's not good. I want a battery to go walk about. Which way does it go? I normally leave it in there. There we go. Alright, so 0, seal makes it a little bit difficult. $12 millimeters to there, from that surface to there. And 6.2 millimeters to there, so it's 18.2. 15, so I was right, 15.2. So this inner bit is 3 millimeters proud of the mating surface, but then I'm going to put that on, right? I'm going to put this on, and what's that? Is it 3 millimeters? Look at that. So yes, it's perfectly flush. You see that? 3.05. The 05 is probably a bit of a burr. But so this is 3 millimeters, which is the same as the offset. Right, so after this, I'll put this toy back. Just locate the battery, close it. So that flat surface there is now flat with this. That's cool. That's very good. Which way round does it go? Let me see. Love to see that, said the blind man. I think. Which side is the star motor supposed to be on? On that side, right? Alright. That's good, they all line up, but no bolt there. I think that'll be okay, not having one bolt there. I'll just get some good, maybe I'll get some studs, some ARP studs to put in here for a bit of extra strength. I remember the old engines, they always had like brackets coming from the sump to the bottom of the bell housing for strength, but you don't see that much anymore. So, right, and then the flywheel. Oh, that's very close. Whew. There we go. The flywheel bolts that came with it, they bottom out. They are really long. And they don't go in all the way. These are the flex plate, and they go in about 1/2 inch. I guess that's enough. I guess that's enough. I guess I don't need to put all of them in there, do I? No. Not just for testing. So now we know that this surface here is flush with that surface there, which is cool. Oh, which is it's flush with the bell housing, right? Which helps. So if that's flush with the bell housing, right, if that's flush with the bell housing, then and the shaft is flush with the bell housing, it's got to sit perfectly right there, isn't it? So if this bearing sits in here, pilot bearing, nice big one. Right, so it comes up and it sits perfectly flush with that surface. Please tell me if any of you guys know the bearing, is it for the small orifice or for the big orifice? For the big opening or the smaller one? On the old manuals, the small one, because the spigot bush was just a porous brass type material that tapped in there, and then you put grease in there and that would lubricate whenever you put your foot on the clutch and disengage the clutch. It would just spin in there like a bush, much like a crankshaft bearing. It's just like a bush. So this shaft comes to just here, so there's a bearing here. So I'm going to have to measure that. So I really need, nice if I had that ready. I only just finished that this morning. It's 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. now. This is such a pretty clutch. Oh, it's so bloody heavy. Oh, this is all damaged. Bugger. Looks like it's melted. Oh, it'll still work. Yeah, it still works. All right. So and then these ones. Really don't need washers. If you like to watch this sort of stuff, I guess you can watch it, or you can fast forward, or wait for something that interests you a bit more in the next chapter. I've also got to put this on because I've got to work out, oh, excuse me, I've got to work out the clutch bearing, thrust bearing, not thrust bearing, the whatever, slave bearing thing. Let me get a socket for this. That's too big. Let's close. That is a size 10. Yes, it's a pen. These will need to be tightened properly because you don't want to damage. Unevenly tighten these up. They don't need to be torqued as such. It's just a proof fitting. But they need to make up. They need to be, you know, tight. Made in US of A. I love seeing that compared to made in China. I love seeing stuff made in America or in Australia, any country but China, to be honest. I got ripped off with a mobile phone, and a mobile phone case, and a mobile phone. I thought I brought a Australian stock Samsung, ended up being, called himself an Aussie reseller, eh? And it got shipped from China. A Chinese box, a Chinese manual, I couldn't read a thing. And I'm sorry, I didn't even turn it on. I said, no, you can take it back. That is not my thing. They probably have like Chinese apps and shit on it. I didn't want it. Even if it was a few $100 cheaper. The clutch plates are now getting squished into place. Doesn't that look beautiful? Looks like a new one, eh? You can hear them creaking like. I have to watch on the video later if these fingers move. They normally move as you tighten this. This looks like cast aluminium, right? Well, I might call this a night. I'm due for my medication. And it's still not touching. There's still a bit of a gap there. Just keep going, eh? Until it's there. No hurry. Oh yeah, that's it. That one stopped. Yeah, you can feel it when the two metal surfaces mate. Of course, I'll torque them up properly if if and when they get fitted properly. Oh, that's dumb. Oh, I'm sorry, that's dumb. I'm hurting, guys. Woo! I'm not going to lift nothing up to that today. But that's fitting the clutch. Let's see if I can get that out with a pair of pliers. But that is not good. Come back here, little friend. There we go. All good. Looks like the plates are made of pure copper, huh? Copper touching steel. They're going to be really different experience compared to a normal organic clutch. So, next video, I'm going to, I may wait until I can jack this up and put the gearbox on the jet, transmission jack, and then make them in the air so I don't have to bust the gut. I guess I could lift it up to the height of the table. If I lift up to the height of the table, I could make them up, I guess. But next thing I've got to measure is, you want to wait? Wait a second. I'll get it. Beep, 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 beep. Fuck yeah. Oh yeah. That's the end of the day for me. So now I've got to work out the room between the gearbox and this, and it's actually got to ride a little bit, like it's got to be compressed a little bit. And this bearing, is it a cover of plastic? No? Is this the bearing or a cover? Confuso mundo. No, it definitely looks like a bearing. Yeah, I've got to make sure that this gets compressed a little bit. If it doesn't, then I have to put some spacers under here to bring it closer. It's got to touch. Yeah, it's got to touch. He sent me text message telling me how much. So that's the next thing to work out. If I can measure from there to there, that'll give me a rough idea. So next clip, I'll be measuring that. So far we've been quite lucky. Gen 3 Hemi flywheel, Gen 3 Hemi clutch with T56 plates, Gen 3 Hemi bell housing, minus is 1 bolt. I don't know why they would have done that, but hey, it's not like there's any. It just holds the box anyway. So nice if I can just put some studs in there and just slide it on and then put some nuts on the outside. We'll see. But yeah, beautiful. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please give it a like, it's free, and it helps me. It's free and it helps me. Everything rains today. So I'm still working on this job, so I won't put the tools away because I'll need to grab them again first thing tomorrow. But I only do one job at a time, and I always put my tools back now. I want it to stay beautiful like this, you know? I want it to stay like this. I don't want to work in a messy workshop. Never again. I got my crow cams banner up there because yeah, they're in Victoria at the moment, my cams. Doing a lot of communicating back and forth, and yeah, he's made a few changes over our conversations, working out exactly what the perfect camshafts would be, giving him the compression dimensions of the valve springs, the length of the solid lifters, etc, 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 you know, and yeah, what fuel I'm running, etc, which is going to be E85, and then, you know, what compression. So he needs to know all that to get the perfect camshaft. So, but he said we're done now, so he's going to go and cut them this week, I guess. Maybe I'll get an invoice later this week, and I'll pay that invoice, and then he will send them to me, and I'll show them to you. Yeah, getting exciting. I now feel like not so pressured to clean. I can just come here and work without having to clean up first, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome. So I can do fun stuff now. I've still got all that junk outside. I've got to order a skip bin and get rid of all that. And then I can put the Jeep in here and roll it back and forth. But I've got to do all the suspension on the daily too, the overland. That's knocking. It's done 250,000. Everything's original, and I'm pretty sure my left rear shock absorber is stuffed. It's knocking. One of the front control arm bushings is shot because it's got the old style rockers, and there's oil leaking from the rocker cover, so I've got to replace that. Otherwise the new bushes are just going to get destroyed as well, because engine oil leaks directly onto the bushes of the control arm. So I have to work on that too, because I still have to drive around every day. So yeah, a lot of work. So yeah, if you're wondering when I'm going to finish this, I don't know. I just love doing it. So you can follow me or not, I hope you will. I appreciate it if you do. You keep my subscribers and my views up, and that will help me with towards the cost of doing this. I'll be greatly appreciated if you click that like and or subscribe and share, so I continue doing this. There's a few million of these out there, WJs around the world. So who knows, someone may also want to do what I'm doing, and looks pretty cool, man. It's the nicest setup I've ever owned in my life. It's beautiful. Look at that. They look like electrical, like mains. They look like they're pure metal. That the plates are made of copper and the friction surfaces are made of brass. They look like yellowy brass. But I doubt that very much. Copper wouldn't be strong enough. But yeah, amazing bit of kit. The flywheel and the clutch came as a kit, and so I know they match 100%. But yeah, who's ever seen this setup on a 4.7 before, huh? I don't think anybody has. Has anybody ever seen this on a 4.7 Powertech? I think not. I've seen a few turbocharged and stuff. I've seen a manual with a Dodge box, which gear stick comes up to the height of the dashboard. It's like, whoa, it's like changing gears in a truck. A bit like changing gears in my mate's Wrangler. He's got the V6 and his gearbox feels like a, I don't know, Toyota Dyna truck. But I don't want that. I want it to shift small, tight, neat, like a sports vehicle, not like a truck. So hence the reason I'm going for this. But since I'm also going twin turbo and E85, a single plate's not going to do the job. So, anyway, I could keep talking all night long, but I'll see you. Doctors tomorrow, all morning. Yeah, probably won't upload tomorrow. But if there's anything you want to see or know, let me know, and I'll either answer you in the comments or in a clip. Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.